Yo, it's Mel from Rap Rankings. To hear the full episode this clip comes from and all the other episodes, stop by raprankings.com or search Rap Rankings on your favorite podcast platform. Track 5, In Remembrance of Me. Well, as someone who wants to be completely forgotten when they die, you'd think I would have, an issue with this track, but I don't. In fact, this song is a 7+.
I disagree. This song is an 8+. Sting Me Baby. It's my favorite song on the album.
Oh, wow. Okay. You know what that means, folks. It's all downhill from here.
That's right. So, listen, you know Moulz. I'm the anecdotal man.
Yes.
When the songs are like on that reminiscing anecdotal tip, whether it's that Akil Pratt and King LJ Home
shout out to the boys
that I played, whether it's Growing Pains by Ludacris that I gave a 10, there's a lot of like looking back anecdotal sort of like cataloging of memories sort of records that I tend to respond favorably to. So,
right.
Not to mention, I love the sample in here with the time flies.
Yeah, definitely.
You know? That,
yeah.
Ooh, time flies.
The beat kind of reminds me of that Comfortable by Lil Wayne a bit, like the melody.
Okay.
You know?
This is one of my favorite beats on the album. Definitely my overall favorite song.
Exile laced him with a good beat to reminisce
I
on.
Definitely, like, you know how we were talking to Versus? I was saying, like, no, when we were talking to him, I was saying, like, some of these records I'm not feeling the same emotional connection with that a lot of people have.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of those records that, even like Narrow Path, which we've already discussed, I was saying I've sort of lost that deep emotional connection to it because I'm not doing that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But like this one still hits me. This one feels good.
Totally.
Yeah, I love Blu on here. I love the production, and I think like some of the best writing on the album is Blu's recollections on here.
Totally. Yes. This is the writing on here. This is like the second standout song for me, like the intro track and then this. And basically my takeaway is if the whole album had a bass line of like this quality of this song in the intro, perhaps I'd be joining like the chorus of, oh my God, it's a classic. If every track was at least to the level of the intro in this track, totally, I would totally get it. I've said totally a lot, like the past minute. Anyway, yeah. Verse 1, I've been through it. I mean, these are good life raps, See, I remember when my folks said, you know what I mean when you get older. I was only a teen thinking that I was a grown up. Please, I had so much to see, thinking the little that I saw was all the world had to offer me. And he, oh my God, I at 18, I headed off into the streets without guidance, just the eyes of God watching over me. It's time. I spent hours working 9 to 5s to survive.
Me and Jack up in the shack
started hustling
sacks just to eat chips and soda.
Thinking we finna blow up
once this demo gets done.
Oh my God.
Bro, I mean, those are those memories that like do align a lot with my experiences.
Yes.
And I'm thinking about like just that line in general, just to eat chips and soda.
Bro, I'm right there. Like I'm back in 17, 18 years old, walking around like Oceanside, California with no real responsibilities yet, just a dreamer. I'm running like for him it's Jack, for me it's C-Bro and Christian, and I'm eating gummy bears instead of chips and soda.
And those parallels to Resurrection by Common that I was talking to Versus about, like again, this is a song that reminds me in some ways of that album. And Blu is the same age, or roughly the same age as Common when he made that album. So there's like, it's weird. It's like you're nostalgic for what, 4 or 5 years ago, but when you're like 22 or 23, that's something that you do feel in some ways because you start to get hit with those responsibilities.
Man, yo, when them responsibilities hit, okay. Shout out to the Rugrats. It's just you.
And then
What can I tell you? Okay, this is true. It's over.
There's like a lot in the third verse that really makes me feel emotional. Just overall, this one is, to me, like you said, like if I felt similarly to the world about this album, like this song, Narrow Path, and there's two others coming up that, like, to me, if the album kept that barometer of quality throughout the whole record, I'd be in a little different space than I am already with this one.
Right. Totally.
And I don't dislike this album, for the record. I just don't like this album as much as the world seems to.
Well, they'll find out why as we continue, But, yeah, I mean, I love this because I do have, this is one of the few times where I do have that emotional connection that the world seems to have. It's like, you learn that, like, no matter how quote unquote smart you are, it's like, he's talking about this, it's the knowledge of the world that you'll only gain through experience. And it's what you really need to make it on earth. It ain't no amount of gifted AP classes, graduating with honors. No amount of that is going to save you out here. Okay. You really do think you be knowing until you find out, and as much as I like verse 1, verse 2 to me is when he really sets himself apart and starts fleshing out an identity, and it gets like really captivating, because verse 1 shows that he can wrap his brain around, meaningful concepts, and he's like, he's certified hip hop. But verse 2 is the storytelling that reveals who Blu is. Okay. Right. When he starts telling them stories about, summer dances and Blu's cheating on Shamika with Anika and like playing basketball. I love this when he's like, I never smoked, playing ball, thought it would make me choke. By the way, we lost the championship game by 1. Slow fucker hit a 3 at the buzzer. My heart started crying. I was trying to be a pro baller. Like, bro, that invites you in.
Those are those snapshots of someone's life that, like, again, my biggest complaint about new rappers is I have no idea who they are, and I'm supposed to care about them.
The best you'll get from them is, I remember when we was, back then we was, and I blame Drake as much as I love Drake for that, but the back then remember when raps really took hold when he came around,
There's an art to it. Like, as much as I go up for the anecdotal raps, I feel like lately they've been deployed more than ever and less effectively than ever.
Well, I'm glad you said that, because this is my theory. Verses like this are important as a rapper, but this is different from diary raps, which I also love. I mean, diary raps to me, folks, Drake, Jack Harlow, like Wale. The difference is that a verse like this, like you said, it's like a snapshot. It's less about therapy and working through the trauma in real time and more of like an explanation for why he is the way he is today. Like, when Drake and Jack Harlow and them do diary raps, it's like, it's almost like they're airing out their dirty laundry for the sake of, the appeal and like the voyeurism.
The cult of personality.
The cult of personality.
The albums are almost tabloids in a way.
Right. And, I enjoy my fair share of that, but this is different because he's letting you in, but it's more to inform you about who he is. As a person, then...
And I think the music, it can't be understated that Exile has the perfect backdrop musically for this story or these snapshots.
Right. Yes. Time flies. Okay? You gotta love it. It do be flying. Actually, you gotta hate it, but you gotta love the sample. All right? And... oh my God. As a songwriting mechanic, I love how he ends the verse with this. This is a great line. That not yet abused by time. We was full of youth, not yet abused by time. It's like I saw the whole world through my rhymes. Oh my God. That's enough. I got a little emotional this week. I did. Okay. Cause it's true. I did see the world through rhymes, and we have been abused. We getting abused by the shit. All right. If you didn't know, we getting abused as out here by time. All right. Cause it don't stop. and it flies, and it's just, yeah. Anyway, I'm getting a little personal now. So, only other thing I have to say is he threatens to kind of fall off towards. He starts getting cliche, but he wraps it up well. And he's like, reminding you how we came. We rich now, we used to be slaves. We pushing whips now. We used to be whipped. Rocking chains when we used to be in them. Still complaining that we victims of the system. Shit is twisted, but shit. And this is where he picks back up again. We came a long ass way, yet it just feels like one long day. Shit amazes. I mean, that's poetic. Okay. Yep. He was getting into cliche rap territory, but he saved himself.
Big cliches, but he saved himself. Know? It was almost perfect verse alert before that.
You know, you feel me? But
this is an amazing song to me.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Good stuff. Okay. Yeah, man. Folks, time is fake. Okay, it's fake. They just passed that law where what do they do? Cancel. I don't know. What is daylight saving? What actually is it? Is daylight savings time the one where we get more of it or less? I don't care. It's fake. Okay. They just passed that law where they're like, okay, we're going to get rid of it. But then they're like, some states can keep. How does that work? It's convoluted. And this is what I really want to say, because it's fake. Let's just change it. Okay. 24 hours ain't enough time. All right. It's not. Okay. This is Mel's rant of the week. Okay. And I'm out of here. We get 8 hours. We're supposed to get 8 hours to sleep, right? Okay. That's already a third of the day gone. Most people spend 8+ hours at work.
We don't get 8 hours to sleep.
No, we don't. We don't actually get it. They recommend it knowing full well we can't actually get it.
Just like we're recommended 8 glasses of water. Excuse me. How many glasses do you expect me to pour for my... What do I work for the water district? What's going on?
And think about this. Like, are you pouring into the same glass every day? You know, or every time you go to drink, you're probably getting multiple glasses. Like, you want me to keep washing these glasses? Just be reasonable, okay? You know? It's like, okay, you're supposed to get 8 hours. There, third of the day gone.
But what's
then you're at work for 8 hours.
What's acceptable? You know, is 6 good? Is 7 okay? Like,
it seems like nothing. Nothing works.
You know, what's acceptable?
Nothing works. Okay. I'll sleep 12 hours and still be tired, okay? Because I'm spiritually tired, and nothing can fix that.
Well, hold on. When was the last time you hit that Plano Fitno?
Actually, that would be Thursday, I think. I believe Thursday. Yeah. I do an hour. I go in there, I do an hour, like 2 a.m.
An hour a week. Jesus
Christ. No, I'm working up to 3 because you chastised me last time, the other week, and I'm like, you're right. The plan was to always ramp it up, but I'm just saying, like, I'm trying to get 3 hours a week. Okay, leave me alone. I'm working.
Once he locks into a solid 3 hours a week, we'll start shaming him for to add 30 minutes to each of the days.
It's always shame to go around. That's one of the things you'll learn on this earth. But yeah, if you think about, okay, 8 hours sleep, 8 hours at work, it's 8 hours left to do what? Everything else? Doctor's appointments, be with your kids, your spouse, watch a movie. It's unreasonable. A movie's 3 hours. So now you only got 5 hours left.
Those fucking Marvel bullshit movies you watch are 3 hours. Real movies are an hour and a half to 2 hours, actually.
Okay, so 2 hours. So now you got 6 hours left. And then what do you... Say you just bought some furniture. You got to put furniture together. They're
going to say...
That's like 2 hours.
They're going to say, nobody told you had to watch a movie.
Yeah, but they tell you to self-care. Okay? So when are you supposed to find time to do that? The movie's supposed to be self-care. Then they get mad at you. They shame you for watching the movie and self-caring. Put care on the shelf. Okay?
Nah, just dream.
This is ridiculous, man.
Okay, you sleep for 8 hours and you dream. That's an 8-hour movie.
And sometimes you have a nightmare.
That's a horror movie. That's like you're
tossing and turning and talking to yourself in your sleep and being tormented. You don't even get rest,
That's a new kind of experience,
Experience. You want to play that freaking Elden Ring that everybody's talking about and probably overrating. Okay? To make respectable progress in a video game takes at least 2 hours, if you ask me.
I don't want to play Elven's Ring, okay?
Elven's Ring. I just see old boy from the Cosby Show. What if it's like a ring? Oh man!
All the new listeners who we gained because we covered the Blu Exile album that changed their lives have officially decided I'm gonna stick to the classics.
Oh man! Well, they're classics. So you're gonna what? You're gonna wait for Dissect to do it? They ain't classic. Okay. Stick with Rab. All right, we're going to the top. Okay, to the top. We ain't staying below the heavens much longer. All right. Anyway, that's all I got for this.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Well, hot damn. Well, dick diggity dog. I guess we can move on.
All right. As we continue to show no mercy to hip hop, let's move on.
Socko.
Socko. Yeah. All right. Yo, it's Mel from Rap Rankings. To hear the full episode this clip comes from and all the other episodes, stop by raprankings.com or search Rap Rankings on your favorite podcast platform.